you. I talk about things that affect my community, like sticks niggas that's in the hood that run with 12, no unity. I keep it real for the streets that protects you and me. Hit the link, click the like, don't forget to subscribe to me. I only spit the real on my channel, they be fake. I only spit the real on my channel, they be fake. I said I only spit the real on my channel, they be fake. I'm like the mob when it's water, see the shoes in the lake. I only spit the real on my channel, they be fake. I only spit the real on my channel, they be fake. I said I only spit the real on my channel, they be fake. I'm like the mob when it's water, see the shoes in the lake. See, a lot of y'all came here to cash in on a check. No, I came here because I care about my brothers. I came here for my black men, to help them, to do whatever I can, to bring a voice to my community. They ain't ready for you. Better get ready for you. They ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you. Better get ready for you. They ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you. Better get ready for you. They ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you. They ain't ready for you. Good morning, YouTube family and friends. I'm back with another one. So I've been wanting to speak on Rasheem Carter. This situation has really disturbed me in the worst way. Okay, the family has hired Ben Crump as their attorney, and I'm going to show you all a video, and that will be most of my commentary. But let me give you a rough draft of my opinion on it. Okay, Rasheem Carter was last seen outside of a Super 8 hotel in Laurie, Mississippi, about 30 minutes from Taylorsville, Mississippi. He was contracted to work in Taylorsville at Georgia Pacific. Remains believed to be Mr. Carter's were found on November 2nd. Those close to Carter said he was being threatened by people he knew. He was just trying to make a living for his young child. He told his mother, Miss Tiffany Carter, in one of his last text messages to her, "Me and the owner of the company are not seeing eye to eye, Mama. His name is," she refused to say the man's name at this time because there is an open investigation. But she went on to say, he got these guys wanting to kill me. His credit card was even used after it was determined that he was deceased. Remains was found in Smith County. He was beheaded. His spinal cord was found in a different area from his body, from body parts. And still there's body parts that has not been recovered to this date. Body parts were scattered over 2 acres amongst wild animals. The sheriff's police said, "No foul play." And that's a very, very poor statement to be said. This is a hate crime due to white supremacy, um, racist son of a guns that just hate us, you know. And let me see if I can show you all this video now. Let me see how to do this. How can I have to turn the camera around. Okay, I know what to do. I ain't gonna strain my brain. I'm gonna turn it around. All right, I'm gonna turn my camera right around to my video because I want you all to see this, and I may even step out for a minute, go make a round right quick. Okay, now let's see. Let me see. Yeah, that should do great. Wait, give me 1 second. 1 second. That's not great. I gotta figure out how to get this, y'all. Y'all will be able to see it. That do what? Oh, I know what to do. Maybe I can get this. Hold on, just bear with me. Maybe, just maybe that. Let me get this one. Okay. It's for Rasheem Carter. Because my heart is heavy. Who wants to wake up and not see their child come through the door or not hear from their child? Who wants to wake up and have to deal with it? No mother. So at the end of the day, we got to make a move. I'm going to move if I got to move by myself. I'm going to move. What's up, good people, and welcome back to my channel where we bond over our favorite TV shows, trending topics, and everything in between that we care about. On October 1st of 2022, Tiffany Carter was in sheer terror after learning that her 25-year-old son, Rasheem Carter, was in fear for his life only 2 days before he was wound up missing in Taylorsville, Mississippi. The last communication his mother would have with Rasheem was on October the 1st and 2nd of 2022. Having worked 9 hours on Saturday, he was trying to get a ride from work in Taylorsville back to the Motel 8 in Laurel where he was living temporarily. He was a contract worker at the Georgia Pacific plant in Taylorsville, Mississippi. But on his first weekend in October, the coworker he usually rode with was upset with Rasheem and told him he wouldn't allow him to ride with him anymore. The next day, he disappeared, leaving no signs behind beyond the cashing out of $500 from his ATM debit card account on October 4th. The police report says Rasheem went to the Taylorsville police station on both October 1st and 2nd and told the police about his concerns. The report also says he told his mother on the phone that he had seen 3 trucks full of white men after him. I do not own any rights to this video. This video was made by Vel B React. Vel B React. Shout out to Vel B React. I do not own the rights to this audio or video. I'm using it under the Fair Share
Rasheem is described by his family as an excellent father to his now 7-year-old daughter, a great son and brother. He was intelligent, hardworking, and a giving young man. He was a welder and a millwright, and also loved sports and dancing. Additionally, he owned a seafood catering business, having seafood boils for the Harrison community, where he offered residents everything for free to them. His mother was also quoted as saying, "He's a very smart young man, and he never met a stranger," and she truly believed he was chosen by God. She also said that he had a big impact on people he met and wanted to see everyone win, regardless of who they were. She's quoted as saying, if he could encourage someone along the way to help them reach their goals, that's what he would do. On September 26th, Rasheem Carter started a job for the Georgia Pacific Company in Taylorsville. While working this job, he was staying at a Super 8 motel in Laurel, roughly 20 miles east of where he worked. He was such a dedicated worker that he hitchhiked 2 hours away to get to work after his car broke down. He then started to commute to and from work with a coworker. However, on Saturday, October the 1st of 2022, he told his family that he and the coworker had a disagreement and that he had to leave work in Taylorsville on foot. He called his mom, who was 1,300 miles away, to ask for help. Then she started calling relatives to find someone who could pick him up. Officer Brad Wright of the Taylorsville Police Department said that he talked with Rasheem's boss at the Georgia Pacific plant, and the man said that, quote, the other worker had left and Rasheem asked him to come back and get him. At the JR Food Mart in the downtown area, Rasheem had asked people for a ride, offering to pay them for gas, but had no success. October 2nd was the last day that Rasheem spoke with his mother. He was calling from inside of the Dollar Tree in Taylorsville, and a family member said that Rasheem was in panic mode and that he told his mom that he couldn't get a ride to his motel in Laurel, and additionally told her, and I quote, if I come up missing, there are 3 trucks of white men after me. He also mentioned going into a store and quickly leaving when he heard the cashier say, he's in here. Knowing that some select spots within the Pine Belt area are known as sundown towns and known to have the presence of white supremacist groups like the Aryan Nations and devotees of the KKK, Tiffany Carter was anxious to calm her son's fear and to get him to a safe place. During his last text message with his mom, Rasheem also named someone who worked with him that posed a threat to him and should be considered a person of interest, if not outright suspicious, if he should be harmed to any unusual extent. On October the 1st, my son texted me. This was after him and I had gotten off the phone. He said, me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, Mama. His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, Mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he said to me. And then he went missing. Rasheem left the store on Sunday after that message, and his mom called her best friend to go down to Taylorsville to pick up Rasheem. On Saturday, October 1st, Rasheem went to the Taylorsville Police Department and told the dispatcher that someone was trying to harm him. The Taylorsville Police Chief, Gabe Horn, said Rasheem made a report and was asked if he wanted to press charges, but Rasheem told them no. He instead asked for a ride back to his motel in Laurel, and he also asked for a phone charger. The police officers responded and told Rasheem that they could only help him get to the motel in Taylorsville because Laurel was out of their jurisdiction. But Rasheem didn't want to go there. Currently, there is no account of where Rasheem slept that Saturday night. However, Rasheem came back to downtown Taylorsville on the second day, which was Sunday, October the 2nd, around 5:50 a.m. He was walking around and talking on the phone for over an hour when the phone went dead, and no one had a charger for him. That same morning, Rasheem returned to the police station and asked for help. And despite Rasheem's appeal, again, the police officers dismissed him and told him they couldn't help him, and he couldn't stay around the police station, and that they couldn't give him a ride to Laurel. So his mother said they put him out. Rasheem then went to the JR Food Mart and asked for rides from anyone who would listen to him, with no success. Rasheem was last seen at the Dollar General in Taylorsville, Mississippi. The last time his mom, Tiffany Carter, spoke with her son was on the phone around 10:15 a.m. on Sunday, October the 2nd, and Rasheem's phone seemingly died around noon. A family friend finally arrived in Taylorsville around 1:30 or 2 o'clock p.m. that Sunday afternoon, but there was no sign of Rasheem. There was no word from Rasheem over the next 5 days. His family filed a missing persons report with the Laurel and Taylorsville police and with the sheriff's office. On October 7th of 2022, Taylorsville Police Department contacted Rasheem's mom, Tiffany Carter, and reported that they had searched for Rasheem but had not found him. On October the 8th, Tiffany Carter and her family organized the Carter Family Support Search Team with 20 members in all. They went to Taylorsville to search for themselves, passing out missing persons leaflets with Rasheem's picture. They looked for leads at the JR Food Mart, Dollar General, gas stations, and the Taylorsville Police Department. The family was told that there was no video footage of Rasheem by the Taylorsville Police Department. However, during their search, they quickly learned otherwise. Rasheem's aunt said that on October 8th, members of the family went into the Dollar General and asked if anyone had looked at the videotape footage from the store's camera and was told no. She was quoted as saying, "They let my sister into the back room and they went through about 2 hours of footage going back from October 8th to October 2nd. She went on to say, "My sister recorded it on her phone. You can see my nephew walking all up and down the aisles. He's pacing. He's on the phone. He's not buying anything. It was like he was hiding out. We can see him walking out of the store, but it only captures so much, and that's it." It looks like he's heading back in the direction of the police station, probably a quarter of a mile. Some of Rasheem's search party group talked with Officer Brad Wright, who was cooperative until he said the group was acting like he was trying to cover up something. He was very defensive until the family members assured him that they were not accusing him of anything. He was then quoted as telling the family about Rasheem coming into the station and asking them if they had Uber service. He said that their response was no, that they didn't, and so Rasheem went back outside and sat on the bench. During the search for Rasheem, the family stated that they saw rebel flags and encountered a few rude people during their search, but it didn't stop them. One family member was quoted as saying, "We cried, we prayed, we searched. Weeks passed by, and nothing more was done to help me and my family find Rasheem." Video from various businesses show Rasheem in Taylorsville for about 14 hours before he disappeared. 1 month later, authorities contacted the family about a deer camera photo of someone believed to be Carter walking on private property outside of Taylorsville, Mississippi. The family confirmed that it was Rasheem in the photo, which had a timestamp of 4:25 p.m. on October 2nd. On November 2nd of 2022, someone found skeletal remains on a private land deep in the woods off of Highway 37 South, as well as his clothing and a few of his personal items on private property in Taylorsville, Mississippi. Rasheem's family said that the private property is in no way where Rasheem could have wandered into by himself. According to the family, police found a Super 8 hotel key, Carter's wallet, along with his Chime ATM card, and what appeared to be a cell phone battery, but not his cell phone. They also stated that $500 had been withdrawn from the ATM off of the Chime card on October 4th. However, the sheriff's office has stated that there has been no record of any transactions made after Rasheem's passing. An autopsy by the medical examiner's office found that Carter's body had been dismembered. The autopsy did not specify dismemberment, but noted the remains contained about 24 bones, as well as smaller bone fragments that were found across 2 acres. The autopsy also noted that Carter's remains had been scavenged by animals. Due to the condition of Rasheem's remains, the state medical examiner could not reasonably determine a cause of death, so they say. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigations said in a statement, the last known photo of Rasheem was caught by the deer camera. His family said that from the picture, you could tell he was in distress. He had no shirt on and possibly no shoes, and was carrying a log on his shoulder. He looked like someone was after him. The Smith County Sheriff's Department released a statement on social media that same day that said, I quote, "We have no reason to believe foul play was involved, but the case is still under investigation." The Sheriff's Department later added, "We want to reiterate that this is an ongoing investigation. Other agencies, including MBI and the FBI, have assisted as well. All details have been given solely to the mother, and if and when she wants anything additional released, or if we find anything else that the public needs to know, we will release that information at that time. Rasheem's mother, Tiffany, said that law enforcement failed her son, given what he told her in the hours before his disappearance. The family stated that plans for memorial services for Rasheem had been on hold pending the release of Rasheem's remains from the state crime lab investigation. Rasheem's aunt Felicia was quoted as saying the family did not get a chance to see the remains that were almost certainly those of her nephew. No one in the family was on the scene when the Smith County authorities discovered the remains and sent them first to the local funeral home and then the Mississippi Crime Lab in Pearl. However, the update in regards to this is that some of Rasheem's remains have now been returned to the family, although small enough to fit in a small box. I personally became aware of this story in November due to the vigilant activism of Rasheem's family, so I'm extremely happy to see that Rasheem's story is finally getting the national attention that it deserves. On Tuesday, March 14th of 2023,
I'm gonna put it back on in 1 second, y'all. How y'all doing? How you doing, Big Vi? Reba Somerville. Together we break chains. How y'all doing? Thanks for coming in the chat. I'm gonna put it back on in 1 second, y'all. 1 second, don't go nowhere. I'm gonna let y'all finish watching that. It's something I gotta do right there. 1 second. I promise it won't take you 1 second. I have to respond to very, very important things. It is. Reba, I tried to do this last night and I was crying so bad. I had to get myself together. So that's why I say instead of me trying to do a lot of talk about it, I'm just gonna show y'all. Okay, let's get back into it and let y'all finish. It's only a few more minutes left, y'all. Few more minutes. Let's set it back up. I'm bootleg, Big Bang. I'm gonna get it together like you one day, bro. One of these days. But right now I'm bootleg like a mug.
Tiffany Carter stood by attorney Ben Crump at a news conference to demand a more thorough investigation into Rasheem's disappearance and death. Ben Crump was quoted as saying, "What we have is a Mississippi lynching." Investigators in Taylorsville have been quoted as saying, "This case remains open and ongoing, but the authorities have so far not found evidence to corroborate the allegations that Rasheem was being followed. To this day, we do not have evidence of foul play, but everything is on the table. Until we turn over every stone, it is still an open investigation." And we're going to hold their feet to the fire to make sure that that statement is true, unlike everything else coming out of their damn mouths. That's on no story. Let me get back to being professional. There was also allegations, of course, as we see in many of these sort of stories, where they try to victimize the victim and paint them out to be deserving in some way of what ended up happening to them. And one of those things that was being said in the very beginning, I remember this from when I first started looking at this case, was that Rasheem was on some kind of drugs. Maybe he was a meth head. He was maybe on hallucinogens and or some other kind of drug, and he was just wandering around town because he was addicted to drugs. That was the narrative, although he had been at work that day. But of course, and thankfully, Rasheem's family was quick to come out and combat that any of that was true. And the comparison that I keep hearing in regards to this story is that of the tragic story of Emmett Till. Here we are, nearly 68 years later, and these sort of horrible acts are still happening. But thank God that we now have social media to shine a light on the roaches and hopefully bring them to justice. And lastly, please share this video and keep hashtag justice for Rasheem trending so these monsters can be held fully accountable and Rasheem and his family can get the justice that they deserve. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.
So shout out to Vel B Reacts for that video and that information. We needed that. And he really summed it all up. It's nothing for me to say. It would be a beautiful thing to see um, us who advocate for this type of thing to get together and try to do something about this. Like, I'm game, you know. Um, it's sad. It's sad, and they can't get away with this. If they get away with this, it's gonna get real bad. If y'all think that's bad, they just lynched a black man, a 25-year-old black man, while he was away from home at work. That's unacceptable. So, with all that being said, I'm gonna get up out here. Y'all know I don't stay long. Like I said, I've been wanting to speak on Rasheem Carter, and it's hard. It's hard to speak on it. It touches me in a different type of way. So that's why I wanted to show the video. So love you guys. Thanks for coming in, watching the video. Please keep his name alive. Please keep yelling justice for Rasheem until an arrest is made. Something has to be done about this. This cannot. It just cannot go unnoticed. You know. Thank you, Reba. Thank you. So I'm out. I love you guys.